Hello, hello, and welcome to the show. You're listening to Positive Mindset for Entrepreneurs. This is the show where you discover how to make money by being happy and get paid to be you. Oh, yeah. We love that, don't we? Oh, yes, we do. I'm Dana Wilde. I am your host, and I'm so happy you are joining me here. You are going to discover today about why leveraging your mindset is the number one thing you can do to grow your business more quickly. If you want to be on my newsletter and get a daily mantra that's like a little jolt of happy in your inbox, do go to danawilde.com/mantra. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Get ready for this ride because we are going to talk about, here we go, why hard work is a scam. What? What do you mean? Aren't you supposed to be the positive mindset gal, Dana? Why are you using a word like scam? Well, guess what? I think you're going to see by the time I'm done here that there is a whole different alternative for building your business. And if you go down the feel-good path, you're actually going to build your business faster. Doesn't that sound great? You get the best of all worlds. You get to be happy and you get to grow your business faster. So today I am really shouting out to entrepreneurs, especially those home-based entrepreneurs, many of whom are trying to build their business on their own and sometimes trying to build their business while working a part-time or a full-time job. So they've got on many hats, they've got many responsibilities. They may have family at home, pets to take care of, all sorts of things to do. And then you go out in the world and the experts in marketing or in building businesses are all spreading the same message. Get up at 5 a.m. Your life is so much better if you get up at 5 a.m. You're going to build your business if you work hard, if you get out of your comfort zone, if you feel the fear and do it anyway. So you can work 16-hour days, or you can time block, or make sure to work weekends, or find those extra few minutes every day to put in extra time, get out of your comfort zone, grind. You have to have grit. You won't be able to grow your business unless you're willing to do the things that other people aren't willing to do. Those people who are really successful, they have to push themselves. Anything worth having is worth working for. Yuck. Like, really stop the madness right now. All of this messaging that we're getting from experts and from most of the world, most of the entrepreneurial world, it is a scam. It's absolute untruths. And they're not doing it intentionally. I'm not calling anybody out and saying, hey, those people, they're liars or anything like that, because we've all been fed the same dose of this messaging. Even while we're growing up, we hear this idea that anything worth having is worth working for, and all of those messages. So there's no fault to these experts who are saying this stuff. They're just regurgitating the same stuff that they learned. And we've all been indoctrinated to it for such a long time that we think it's true. We think it's true. And, if you ask anybody, any celebrity or star or news show where they say, what do you have to do to be successful? I bet you can almost say it at the same time I'm going to say it. What they will say, get an education and work hard, right? I mean, it's almost like it's a monkey mind. Is that the right word? Hive mind. That's the word I'm looking for, where we just accept this stuff as truth. And so I want to be like a little dose of reality here, because you may have even heard, I think there's a tide turning now. And I think things are starting to shift. Things are starting to move in a different direction, largely due to the younger generation coming up. But most of the people I talk to are over 50, and we are indoctrinated to this old messaging. And it's really like a loop in our head. But we're starting to see more and more people are talking about the importance of sleep, for example, or having balance or self-care. We're starting to hear more and more about meditation and things like this. And so it's moving in the right direction, but there's a really important piece that they're not telling you, or that is not being said regularly. And that's the piece I'm going to tell you here. I'm going to tell you why hard work is a scam. The reason is because we all have inside of our heads, inside of our brains, we have a part of the brain called the reticular activating system. So, reticular activating system, I've often called it a little matchmaker. It's like a little matchmaker that lives in your head that's filtering through all the data that's coming to you, and it's matching whatever you're thinking about and whatever you're talking about. So I started thinking of this more and more like an algorithm, because the internet has shown us so many cool things about how data works. And if you go on YouTube, for example, and you type in puppy videos, I can venture to bet that the next time you sign into YouTube, you're going to have a bunch of puppy videos in your feed. It almost gets us where we're afraid to click on a link out of curiosity, because we know that we're going to be inundated with a bunch of data that matches that. Well, that's an algorithm, and that's how your brain works. That's how your reticular activating system works. When you think about something, when you talk about something, your reticular activating system is like your best friend. It's like your own personal algorithm where it stands at attention and it says, I hear you're thinking about this, Dana. And so I'm going to bring you more of that. I'm going to bring you more puppy videos because you're thinking about puppy videos. So you see how dangerous this is when we buy into this hard work message. When we're thinking these ideas, and really, it almost goes beyond thinking, they become part of who we are. I was raised in Minnesota, which is very cold. And because it's so cold, there was often that group mind of getting together and helping your neighbor and, working hard. And it was a struggle to get through winter and all of that type of mentality. And many of us are raised in cultures where we were really indoctrinated early to this message. So the reason I'm telling you about the reticular activating system is because we really need to be mindful that the things we say, our brain will match. So when we say things like, it's hard to build a business, I have to work hard, I'm not going to be successful unless I put in 16-hour days, I'm not going to be successful unless I work Saturdays, I have to grind, I need grit, I need resilience, I need to be unsinkable. We think of all of these terminology that we have. What we're doing is telling our brain this over and over and over and over and over again. And so this is about retraining your brain. My book is called Train Your Brain, but this is really about retraining your brain. We got this indoctrination by listening to and thinking thoughts that were given to us by our culture, by our parents, by our worlds as we were growing up. And it is just as simple to start thinking new thoughts. Nobody can think in your head except you. Nobody. You're the only one that can think in your head. And I would like each and every one of us to become more proactive thinkers. We are good about choosing things in our lives. We choose the place we'd like to live. We choose, if you're driving a car, the car you drive, the clothes you wear, the food you eat. Right? We get real picky about the food we eat, what we're going to eat. Well, I want you to get really picky about the thoughts you think. And I want you to be your own gatekeeper to those thoughts. And even more important, to the emotional state that you're in, the way you feel. When you feel good, you get better results. And I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. But I really want you to just take a moment and let that sink in for a minute, that with every thought you think, your brain is treating it like an algorithm. Your brain is matching it. Your reticular activating system is your best friend and is standing at attention saying, this is important to you. I'm going to give you more of that. You want hard work? You watch. I'm going to give you more than that. You don't want to be successful unless you work hard? Got it. I'm on track with that. Like, eek! Don't you just feel like, oh my gosh, I need to get out of here and get a shower and get rid of all those messages. Cancel, pop, pop. We don't want that, do we? No, we don't. So here's the truth about building a business. The truth is, action is not what builds your business. So I'm going to say that again because I know I'm going to get a lot more what's, but action is not what builds your business. And I want you to imagine that you go out in the world and you find the 100 most successful people and in all the different industries, whatever your industry is, line up 100 successful people. And you're going to go down the line and you're going to ask each one of them, why are you successful? What'd you do to be successful? And each one of them is going to say something like, well, I was a podcaster. And the next one's going to say live streaming. That's the way to do it, is you live stream. And the third one's going to say, oh, you got to pass out a business card to everybody within 5 feet of you. And you're going to get 100 different answers, or at least a wide variety of answers of the action they took to get where they're at. So there's no common denominator in action. There's no common denominator in when you hear these people say, like, this is the thing you have to do to build your business, and they're selling you a course about something, there's no common denominator in action. But what is the common denominator of those 100 people? What is different about them? Why are they successful? Why are they at the top of their industries? Well, the common denominator is that they think differently than other people. They have a different mindset. They have a different level of expectation. Some of them were born into it. Most of them are naturals. They just, are kind of generally optimistic people, have always kind of expected great things for themselves. Some of them maybe were raised in households where they learned this from their parents at a young age, but they have a general positive expectation for their success. They're achievers. They're naturals. They think different thoughts. They think different thoughts than other people. And if you go up and you say, what made you successful? Of course, they're going to say, I started a podcast or I live stream or whatever it is they do. They're not going to say, well, I'm successful, Dana, because I think different thoughts than other people. Nobody talks like that. Nobody thinks that way. They don't realize that they think differently. We don't know if we think differently because we don't know really how other people think, do we? We're the only ones thinking in our own heads. So those 100 people all take different actions, but they all think the same. So the common denominator to success is mindset. And at this point, sometimes people are going to say to me, yeah, Dana, but we have to take action, don't we? We have to take some action. Like, we're really married to action, aren't we? We're like, what do you mean? I must have to take action. I can't be successful unless I take action. And here's the deal. It really, truthfully, 100% honest, hand on Bible, all that good stuff. I don't know which hand you're supposed to put, but the reality is maybe not. Maybe you don't have to take action. Maybe somebody just drops something in your lap. Maybe some, distant person that you've never met before happens across something that you've done and says, oh, this is the person that I want to bequeath my business to. Like, who knows how stuff works? But having said that, most of us are married to that idea of action builds our businesses. And I get that. The reason I say mindset matters most is because if you are like these top 100 people who are successful in their industries and you have a positive expectation and you're feeling good and you're telling the good stories and you're saying the right things in your mind and your reticular activating system is matching them up, what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to hold yourself back from action. You're going to be using a better brain, so you're going to be making better choices. You are going to be able to move forward with new ideas, because when your brain is in a feel-good state, when it's in a stress state, it's closing the creative pathways. When it's in a feel-good state, it's opening the creative pathways. So will you have to take action? Gee, are you saying I don't ever have to take action, Dana? You probably don't have to take action, but here's the thing, try to hold you back from action. When you're feeling good, you're going to want to take action, but you're not going to be taking action from that grit, grind, resilience, gotta do it, 16 hours a day or I'll never be successful place. You are going to be taking action from that happy, light, fun, feel good place that's like, oh, I love building my business. This is so cool. I'm going to explore this. This is so fun. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do that. I got another idea. Oh, I'm going to add that to my list of ideas, right? I mean, you're going to take it from a whole different place. And guess what? When you take that action from that emotional place, you meet with more success, right? You meet with more success. And I'm going to talk more about that in just a second. So now, what are the to-do steps? Like, okay. And if you're in, like, if you are ready to make a declaration, because that's where it starts. The declaration starts with really saying, you know what? Mindset does matter most. Why am I buying into all of these old messages that I've had for such a long time and I've been indoctrinated to? And the reality is mindset matters most. If you're willing to say, yeah, I'm in, put I'm in the comments, because that's the first step. The first step is going, you know what? I am on the feel good path. I want a good life. If you'd like to get up at 5 a.m., go for it. Not this gal. If you want to wake up whenever you want to wake up, if you want to have more time for you, if you want to enjoy your life and build your business faster because you're in a feel good place, say I'm in the comments. Okay. Now, the to-do steps. Here's the most important thing. Besides the declaration, the most important thing is to wake up and be aware of the thoughts that you're thinking and the emotional state that you're in. So sometimes our thoughts can be zipping by at such a fast rate that we're not really sure, like, what thought did I just have 5 seconds ago? Because now I'm down the bunny trail and I'm 30 thoughts later. Sometimes they're really loud and clear, and you can hear a real loud, clear message where you're like, no, cancel, pop, pop. Well, you don't need to cancel, pop, pop anymore. You can just go, okay, there you are. Thank you for sharing. And you can't get rid of that negative thought, but you can start down a new bunny trail of thinking a positive thought. But having said all of that, sometimes it's easier just to pay attention to our emotional state. And if you are in an emotional state where you are overwhelmed or frustrated or stressed out or depressed or not feeling good, you've got one job. In fact, all of us as entrepreneurs have one job, which I will talk about in a minute. But for sure, if you're feeling frustrated or any of those emotions I just mentioned, don't take action in your business and try to make something happen. Because if you try to take action from that emotional state, everything you do is just going to turn to crap, right? You're not going to get the result you want because you're not going to be in the right frame of mind to get the good idea, see the good thing, get the good response. So when you're feeling that way, that is the time to double down on anything that makes you feel good. Take an assessment. Am I overly tired? Do I just need to kind of write this day off because I didn't get enough sleep? And can I take a nap? Do I need to eat something? Do I need to get outside and walk around a little bit? Do I need to have a conversation with somebody because it's really bothering me? Do I need to put on some music and dance? Do I need to play with the cat? Do I need to, what is the thing that you need to do to shift your emotional energy? Many times when we first get into the brain training sandbox, it's like we're doing triage, right? We're really catching those negative emotions and we're trying to move them positive. But here's what happens. And it doesn't take long, by the way. Once you start getting the hang of this, like, okay, I'm starting to see that I'm getting a little bit of negative momentum and you nip it in the bud, you start to say even, which is good. Most of us aren't too excited about even. It feels kind of boring to be even. Better to be even than to have negative momentum going. But more importantly, you start catching yourself more and more feeling good, and you start to be able to juice up that feel good emotion. So pay attention to your emotional state and get serious about your self-care. Get serious about your happy care. Get serious about your positive emotional momentum. Think about it as entrepreneurs. We go into every day, we've got this list of things to do. Today, I need to write my social media post. Today, I need to build my webpage. Today, I need to write an email to my list. I need to reach out to customers. This whole list of things to do. And do you know what's not on that list of things to do? What's not on that list of things to do is the single most important thing that builds your business quickly. And that is all of those little things we do that help us to feel good. We all have different ways of delivering our own self-care and feeling good. We talked about some of the physical ones before related to sleep and eating and all of those things that are important to having a even platform, a foundation for self-care, a foundation for feeling better. So figure out the things that really put you in that feel good state. Some of you would love to play with your kids. Some of you would love to play with your pets. Some of you love to dance. Some of you love to walk outside. Some of you love to journal in the morning and answer thoughtful questions in the morning, or to read mantras, or read inspiring material, or listen to inspiring material. Start making a cheat sheet. Start making your new to-do list of things that put me in the happy zone. Start your day with a declaration. Today is a new day. I am super excited with my new list of things to do, and I am going to be a brain trainer. I am going to get positive emotional momentum flowing. I'm going to build my business from a positive emotional momentum place. My list of things to do have to do with, how do I stay feeling good and flying high? That's my job. That's my job as an entrepreneur, is to stay feeling good and flying high, right? So here's the thing. I don't want you to just take my word for this. I want you to let your brain prove it to you. If you make this a priority of feeling good, if you make it a priority of, of making your positive emotional momentum and your mindset number one, if you do this for even 72 hours, even 3 days of really saying like, okay, I'm going to be ultra aware for a few days. I'm going to feel around and get some good sentences going and get some good feelings going. And you start to really pay attention to feeling good and pay attention to saying good things to yourself. After 72 hours of doing that, you're going to start to see evidence that it's working. Your reticular activating system is your best friend. How long does it take for your YouTube algorithm to work? Not very long, right? Well, it's the same way with your brain. It doesn't take very long for it to start to kick in, and your filter, it starts to filter things that shows you evidence that it's working. So really take this in and think about who you are when you feel good. Who are you when you feel good, when you're really feeling good, when you're flying high, when you've got that positive emotional momentum? Those creative pathways are open. You're getting those good ideas. You're having access to all of that good information. The filter is working on your behalf. You're seeing things. Things seem to fall into your lap. You feel like taking action. When you sit down and do something, you're in the flow and you're in the zone and you get stuff done so fast. This is how you work less and make more. You get in the zone, stuff happens, because when you're feeling good, everything goes your way, everything falls into place. You show up in the world and you have fun and you're confident, and people see you and they want to engage with you and they want to be in your sandbox and they want to hang out, and you like people better. You want to engage and you make better connections and you attract people to your email list, attract people to where you are, your product or program that you're selling. Like it all starts with feeling good. It's so obvious, isn't it? It's so obvious when you hear the juxtaposition of which way you'd like to build your business. Well, I want to just grind and work hard and really get up early and know that it's going to take a long time and I'm going to have resilience, right? Who wants that path? No. If you'd rather have the path where it's like, I'm going to do, my number one job is to feel good. And I'm going to do whatever I can to feel good every single day. And I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to take that time even before I get out of bed. And I'm going to think some good thoughts and say, today's a new day and I'm a brain trainer and I'm ready to make it a good day. And I know mindset matters most and feeling good is my number one priority. And I can't wait to start this day. And then you hit the ground and you go downstairs and you have your morning routine that encompasses all the things you love, whether it's listening to audio material or going for a walk or exercising, all the while thinking those good thoughts of, I love thinking positive thoughts. I love building my business. I love that my brain is on board for me. I love that my brain is doing most of the heavy lifting. I'm eager to see what's going to fall into my lap today. I'm eager to see all the good connections I'm going to make. I love building my business this way. When you start your day that way and you do whatever you have to do, whatever practices you love, I don't care if it's meditation, if it's tapping, if it's hypnotherapy, whatever it is that gets you into that zone, gets you feeling good, and then let your brain do the heavy lifting, which you're going to see is that you get results faster, you make better connections, you attract people, you work less because you're moving from that high flying place, you have more fun, you go down fewer paths that are kind of like, oh, how did I get myself into this? And you are now instead on the feel good path. You're following your emotions, you're keeping positive momentum top of mind. And without a doubt, if you follow the brain training path, your brain will show you quickly how easy it is. It's so easy to build a business the feel good way. And for sure, you've totally got this.